Hi there, folks. Welcome to Paizo's Starfinder Society Foundry Module Showcase. Today we're going to be running through a Scenario 606, Tomorrow's Seekers. Just so you all know, we're giving Pathfinder and Starfinder Society the same premium treatment on Foundry VTT that we've been giving all our Pathfinder Adventure Paths that we've been coming out with. Each of these modules will be a one-time purchase that will be updated throughout the season with new content, as well as we release it, of course, and will be available in both a streamlined version that provides only maps and tokens for those of you who already own these PDFs, as well as a deluxe version that has fully styled journals containing all the adventure content. And that's what we're going to be running through today. So keep an eye out on the Paizo blog for any future updates. And why don't we just dive right on in? I'm Jason Keeley. I'll be your game master for today. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the a senior developer for the Pathfinder Rules and Lore team. And I'd like you to meet all of our lovely players. Dustin.
I'm Dustin Knight. I am a developer for the Starfinder team, and I will be playing Locust 7, our little Hanekin evolutionist.
Hey everyone, I'm Jessica Catalan. I'm the Starfinder Society developer here at Paizo. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be playing Sprig, a little Raxolite mystic.
Hi, I'm Sol St. John. I'm editor here at Paizo. I'm the editing lead for the OP, specifically editing lead for the OP side of things. My pronouns are they, them, just because that's the easiest. And I'm going to be playing Zarket, a Valakan envoy.
And hi, I'm Jenny Jarzabski. I am a senior developer working on the Starfinder team. My pronouns are she, her, Zizum if you're fancy. And I will be playing Kirei, the shining star Solarian of the Starfinder Society.
All right, okay. Let's get started, shall we? We are out in the depths of space in the Pact Worlds system where we can see Absalom Station, the sort of the beacon of the system, the sort of center of the almost the known universe, but a bustling space station that's miles wide and always filled with people, parks and buildings and skyscrapers. And as we sort of pan closer and pierce the bubble of the outside of the station, we're going to start with Locust 7. Dustin, where do we find Locust 7 on Starfinder, on Absalom Station, and what are they up to?
Locust 7 would be working at the Lore Spire complex, helping catalog and research different species and varieties of birds from different planets and beyond.
Great. Is this a full aviary? Are there actual like birds here?
Oh,
or are you just on a
definitely,
computer?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just birds
yes.
flitting around you. Describe your character a little bit.
Yes,
like, physically, what do you
Locust
look
7
like?
is a small Hanekin. They're a small feathered raptor-like species that is oversurging with magic. He also has the nickname Lucky, as Locust 1 through 6 were not quite as lucky.
Oh.
Yes. He owes a great deal to the Starfinder Society and loves that they allow him to catalog and work with all these birds, even occasionally taking some home to observe their sleeping habits and observe them in other situations. But overall, he is simply grateful that the Starfinder Society was able to rescue him from being used in various magical experiments.
Oh, okay. Juicy backstory there. A double-winged sparrowhawk is sitting on your head at the moment when your comm badge kind of bleeps up and it scares the bird away. And it flies up into a normal tree. And you get a message asking you to report to the sort of top floor of the Lore Spire complex for a meeting with First Seeker Ehu Hadif.
Ehu Hadif. All right.
Yep. We then serves, wipe to Jessica. Your character Sprig is where on Absalom Station, and what do they look like, and what are they doing?
Yeah, so Sprig, her full name is Sprig BW for Sprig Basks in Wonder. She's a bit of an observer. She likes to gawk at people. So she is on a really busy concourse right now in the middle of Absalom Station. She is a Raxolite. So those are little tiny little plant people. She's about 9 inches tall, or 3 if you count all the pretty little blue flowers growing out of her head. And she, as a Raxolite, she has a little biotech augmentation on her back, an L-fan it's called, that has like little snake-like metal tendrils that come out. She can use to like lift big things much bigger than she is. So Sprig is squatting in a giant plant pot with like the big old tree growing out of it in the middle of the concourse. She's got little feet in the soil, squatting down, little arms covered up. Just her head is sticking out. She's got big wide eyes and a creepy smile, and she's just staring at people and just watching as they go back and forth on the concourse. Yeah, so she's there just being a creepy spy.
Most people are not paying at all attention to you. There is one person who kind of maybe looks over briefly as your comm badge sort of chirps, and they're like, did that tree just beep? And then just stranger things have happened on Absalom Station, so they just kind of go on by. And again, yes, you are on your comm unit getting a message to report to the Lore Spire complex top floor for a meeting with First Seeker Ehu Hadif.
As her comm unit beeps, she leaps up in joy, scattering soil from this planter all over the place at people, and she's like, ha! Adventure calls, and then she just randomly runs off.
And everyone's like, did that onion just run away? Oh, I don't know. And so we pan over to Saul. Where is your character? And describe them for us.
So Zarkette, again, so full name. Okay, take a deep breath. So Zarkette Delavana, Sharp-Eared Chris of the circles Chris, Amok, Pact Worlds Embassy, and the Starfinder Society, is they're a Valakan, a moderate, just kind of an average-sized Valakan, so a humanoid wolf kind of dog, humanoid wolf dog with gray fur and kind of a white muzzle, dressed in standard armor with kind of a cloak wrapped around them. And they are, I think, probably in somewhere like Jatambe Park, somewhere green, somewhere pleasant, where there's people hanging around, being peaceful, mostly just, enjoying nature. They're seated at a bench, and it almost looks with their hands just kind of folded over the cane that they carry, and it looks almost like they're meditating. They're just kind of, they are not if people pass by, they think they're staring off into something, just kind of meditating. They are not actually staring, because their eyes are completely blank. They're blind. They can't actually see anything. What they're actually doing is people watching, because they are listening and smelling everyone who walks by, and just kind of enjoying their lunch break from or a little time away from themselves from working at the Valakan diplomatic attaché, or whatever the equivalent would be from Mojak to the Pact Worlds.
Terrific. You Jatambe Park is a big place, and you do notice there's a small amount of, I wouldn't say commotion at one of the ends, but it looks like they're building some sort of stage there. There's going to be an event there later this evening, you think. But as you're finishing off the last of your lunch, your Tom unit chirps, and I suppose the text to speech, or maybe text to smell a function goes off and requesting your presence at the top floor of the Lore Spire complex for a meeting with First Seeker Ehu Hadif.
And they can hear just fine. They're blind, not deaf. So,
sure, yeah. But I was going to say that you don't read it. You hear it, or you smell it, or something. Yeah.
I actually figure they've got a data pad. I figure it's probably one of those that it's sci-fi. It's probably something where the data pad has
that's great too.
Messages, they come into tactile language, and
great,
they get that message, and just rise up and head off to the meeting, just quiet as you can.
Great. Okay, and then we pan over to Jenny. Where are you, and what are you up to?
Hey, so Kirei is in the studio working on a recording, or possibly rehearsing for her Sparkle Summer Tour that's coming up. So she's just around at the studio, probably still in a fabulous costume, but a downplayed version that she can easily move in and sweat in for the rehearsal.
Right. Okay. Is it usually a studio, not a stage, right? You're in.
She's rehearsing right now or
yeah,
recording.
Yeah. You're singing, and then there's on the other side of the booth, there is a sort of your producers there, right? Sort of, and the record artist, not the record artist, the recording artists are there, fixing the levels. They hear like, oh, Kira, that was great. Why don't we all take 10 here, and we'll come back and maybe lay down one of these tracks.
Okay, great job, everyone.
But that's when you get a little that's when you maybe turn your comm unit back on, and you're done recording, and you get a sort of a message that just comes in, boop, boop, asking for you to report to the top floor of the Lore Spire complex for a meeting with First Seeker Ehu Hadif.
Awesome, I'll be right there.
Okay. And of course, the studio knows that sometimes you just need to go on these missions, so you have complete dispensation to head out for the rest of the. We'll finish this later. We got. I think you got your pipes warmed up. We'll come back later. And we have this space booked for a few weeks. We're good. And so the four of you eventually all make your way to the top floor of the Lore Spire complex, where you meet up, perhaps for the first time, in an atrium in front of the First Seeker's office. And there's a sort of a secretary bot there, that a receptionist bot that says, Hadif will be here in just a moment. So, if you all want to introduce yourselves to one another while you have this moment, please do.
I find something higher up, like a chair or desk or something, and I clamber up with my little L fan, and finally, it takes me like a solid minute to get all the way up there because I'm really bad at it, until I'm finally near people's face height, and I'm like, whoo! Okay, sorry, I didn't like the view from down there. Hi, I'm Sprig. I can see you much better now.
Hi, Sprig. Nice to meet you.
I give each of you, from my backpack, not my head, I give you a little flower for you, and everybody gets a little blue flower.
Oh, I put it into my hair. Thank you.
Lucky starts to panic a little and then decides to climb up next to Sprig, assuming that's what needs to be done, and says, "Hi, you could call me Lucky. I didn't bring any flowers. Oh, I know." He'll reach and he'll pull out some feathers and hand a purple feather out to each person, as he assumes is customary in these meetings.
I look really thrilled with this feather, and I'm closely inspecting it, and I randomly attempt to tell you what kind of bird it came from. I think I'm actually kind of good at that.
Oh, okay. Let's see it roll. Do you want to do a little life sciences check for us?
I am.
All right, why not?
I will. Here we go.
Well, sure. Well, Dustin, you pulled this from your head, right?
Yes.
Just now? Yeah.
Yes.
So Sprig, you recognize. Oh, this is not necessarily from a bird, but it is from it's from a Hannikin.
I assumed you pulled it from a bag. All right, then I spent a long time inspecting it, only to go, oh, it's yours. I missed that. And I'm very happy with the feather. I tuck it in my bag.
I think I'm just quite admiring the scent of the flower and the feel of the feather, and just kind of nodding. It's like a pleasure to meet all of you. You've got a lovely scent, Sprig.
Thanks.
Sir, Mr. Sprig, or Miss.
And after a few more moments of sort of light banter and small talk, the door to the office opens up to reveal a comfortable wood-paneled room. You see some silver-framed photos lining one wall opposite a window overlooking the Lore Spire complex grounds. Behind the sturdy wooden desk, there's a comfortable faux leather chair, and sitting in that is the First Seeker, a Kasatha clad in red armor and a matching face mask. He raises a hand in greeting, then gestures for you all to sit in some plush chairs around here. And it's, of course, let's all show everyone Ehu Hadif in his bright red armor.
Ooh,
I
stylish.
wave with my little hand and all my little L fans all at the same time.
Terrific. Thank you for coming, Starfinders. He begins, and everyone takes a seat. As I'm sure you're aware, the announcement of my impending retirement means that the Starfinder Society is once again amid election season. Whether you actually were aware of this or not, it is sort of the chatter of the Starfinder Society web forum chats and sort of private messages and stuff like that. Every so often, there needs to be a new first seeker elected. Generally, when the other one retires or sometimes disappears. But he continues. 4 years ago, I was honored to accept the title of First Seeker thanks to the votes of Starfinder agents such as yourselves, and in a few weeks, we'll be asking agents to cast their votes again. Well, there are a few official regulations around candidate selection. The members of the society tend to coalesce around a few respected individuals, and that's exactly what's happened this time. 4 candidates have garnered the support of their peers, and soon we'll be calling all agents to cast their votes. Now, I'm calling in groups of you 4 or 6 at a time to meet with these candidates, learn about their proposed mandate or their areas of interest, complete any tasks they might have prepared for prospective supporters. And just as with our faction leaders, the sort of tasks an agent deems worthy tell a lot about who they are and what they stand for. And he leans back in the chair. He's got a twinkle in one of his eyes through that face mask, and he says, "Well, Starfinders, what do you say? Care to spend some time looking for my worthy replacement?"
I sure do.
We got
Terrific.
this.
Great. Of course, and he sends to all of your sort of comm units a brief summary of the 4 candidates that are in vying for the position. The first is Aurora Everbright, a daring halfling pilot. The next one is Nikiti Lampadeferos, a insightful Sarcesian diviner. There's Dr. Heldon Savale, a half-orc scientist, and Sarmak, a Izilgun electrician. Ehu Hadif says, if there's any questions you have about any of these, I can give you a little bit of a briefing on each of them if you like. Otherwise, you can just pick and choose who you want to go speak to. They're all expecting to see you at some point today, or at some point in the next few weeks.
Brig nods very vigorously as she looks at all of them, kind of scattering pollen everywhere. She's like, yes, tell me more.
Sure.
Who's this one? And then she just randomly starts pointing at them all.
Okay. Oh, let's roll a d4. All right. That's Nikiti Lampadiferos, who says, Nikiti's an insightful and mysterious Starfinder. She's a powerful spellcaster and diviner. Her prophecies and visions can seem frivolous or nonsensical, but I've always found them to be useful in the end. She aims to investigate magical occurrences and anomalies, including places like Casmerg Absurdity, and research magical objects left uncatalogued in the Society's vaults and storage spaces. Nikiti's waiting for you in the communion vaults, which is just inside the complex nearby.
Brig gasps really loud. That sounds wonderful.
Oh, yes. She's it'll be quite whatever she has you do. Well, I'm sure will be quite interesting. Anyone have any sort of anyone else they want to hear more about specifically?
Yeah. Can you tell me more about the doctor and specifically why it's a strange fact that he only ate bugs? I don't understand.
Oh, well, I think from Dr. Heldon Savale, he's what you would say we call a very altruistic individual, and that he's kind of used it. He says it's for sort of moral reasons. He doesn't like to consume the flesh of other non-insect creatures or even plants, as we all know, and sort of gestures a little bit at Sprague. We have, of course, some many sort of sentient plant species in the galaxy and in the society. Now, of course, no one has pointed out to him that we also have several bug insectoid species here in the galaxy and in the society at large. But he claims that it's essentially, for they make for the most nutritious food. And
delicious.
and delicious. To each his own. Some people find it a bit, not to their taste. But Dr. Savella's got degrees in both botany and biochemistry, and he's got a doctorate in genetics. He's planning to lead scientific expeditions to catalog the flora and fauna of the galaxy in order to create a library of genetic sequences. And it's his hope that scientists and scholars the galaxy over will mine this data set for potential new medicines and treatments. He's promised to make any new pharmaceuticals discovered by the Starfinder Society available to the public on a non-profit basis. And Dr. Zavela is in one of our labs on the complex at the moment.
I look quite thrilled, and then I point out to everyone, I'm a botanist too.
That's amazing.
I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk to him about.
And a worthy cause.
I wonder if he smells good.
I'd like to know more about this Aurora Everbright. I mean, first of all, where did she get technology to change her hair color on command? I need that for my show. Also, I want to know if she's interested in being in a music video. But anyway, tell us about her, please.
Well, yeah, Aurora's quite media savvy. I'm sure she would love to be in a music video. She's a pilot and professional racer.
That's amazing.
Ambitious and bold, right? She believes that the Starfinder Society achievements and heroics have gone uncelebrated. It's a situation she intends to remedy. She's pledged to double the funding for the long-running Starfinder Chronicles cast and to collaborate with a variety of entertainment and media partners, I'm sure, as you would appreciate, for a selection of new vidcasts, documentaries, games, and all sorts of media based for public consumption, all centered on the groundbreaking and heroic discoveries of the Starfinder Society. She's actually at Jitembe Park right now, setting up, I think, a concert of some kind.
Ooh, we'll have to go talk to her too.
Of course, yes. And finally, there's Sarmak. He's a very passionate Starfinder. He's a hunter, engineer, and electrician, and he's got this intense interest in ancient civilizations that built megastructures or displayed advanced technological capabilities. Right now, he's in the process of organizing an expedition to a city of the first ones on Avalon. Exploring forgotten sites built by his people, the Isilgun, is also a primary interest. And Sarmak is in the Archives Cortex, which is kind of in the basement of the complex. And that's the 4 candidates that we have. Just as an aside, so people know, these are all characters that have been played by people in in Starfinder Society, and they had put their characters out there for people to vote on, and these are the 4 that were selected. And in that vein, I'd like to apologize to those players if I do something wrong with your characters. Give them a funny voice or portray them in a way that you didn't see coming, because at this point, what information I have is just in the scenario. But they all look very exciting and fun, and I can't wait to find out who wins. But that's for the future. So, do you guys have any more questions for Ehu?
My character just hops up. She's like, "No, let's go. I'm ready."
All right.
Okay.
So it comes down to, who do you want to talk to first? You have the 4, and you can talk to them in any order you wish.
I take a step back, squat down like a little plant bulb again, and I just stare at the other 3 of you, just waiting to see what you pick.
Well, everyone sounds super interesting, but personally, I would like to talk to Aurora, although I can wait if we'd rather talk to someone else first.
Brig leaps up already out the door.
No, wait. I'll go follow.
Well,
Miss Everbright is a good place to start. It's a good place to start with the name, so follow them.
All right. All right. You all head down the elevator, get to the street level, and before you can even actually make your way to Jitembe Park, a bright pink hover car sort of stops in front of you. Aurora, this blonde halfling with sort of highlights at the bottom of her hair, she pops her head out of the sunroof. She's got this bright white and pink sort of racing suit, reflecting the light of the simulated sun, and she's waving. Oh, Starfinders! You're the ones that Ehu just met with, yeah? I'm Aurora. Hop in, and I'll give you a lift.
my
And
god, your
it's-
ride is amazing. And Aurora,
Oh, thank you.
she just hops in.
Yeah, Sprig does not hesitate at all. She randomly leaps into this car.
This is
I might
Aurora.
need a boost. Somebody might just need to lift me, but like climb on in there.
The first thing that you do notice is that the inside of the car is a little bigger than the outside of the car, fitting all of you in there quite easily and comfortably. And as soon as you're all inside, Aurora guns the engine, and she's sort of speeding down the street, talking to you while she's driving. And she goes on to say, sorry, the Starfinder Society is at the forefront of galactic exploration. We're the movers, the shakers, the innovators, the heroes. But all our exploits get ignored unless something goes wrong. Why? It's because we let other people tell our stories. We've got the Starfinder Chronicle, sure, but for everything else, well, we leave it up to other people. It's time that changed. We need to seize the narrative and tell our own stories. Shine the spotlight where we want it. And let the galaxy see how important we are, how integral. And she flips on an autopilot at this point and then swivels her seat to sort of face you as the car is racing down the street, just barely missing other cars and sometimes even getting close to going up onto the curbs, which doesn't
I throw my
faze
little
her in the
tiny
slightest.
hands in the air for every turn.
Well, this week in Dutembe Park, there's a big talent showcase. There's a bunch of big wigs from all kinds of talent agencies, media networks, vid streams, and other broadcasts all attending. Now, I booked us a slot on the main stage for, later today. And one of my pals is a director. He's got a script we can use. It's all about the Starfinder Society, so it's perfect. If we can get these influential folks interested in us, or we can start building partnerships, right? We can make vid streams, movies, documentaries, games, you name it. We'll have the interesting capital we need to tell our stories the way we want. And then she spins back around, gets into engages the manual drive just in time to pass between two trucks that are sort of crossing the street in front of you. Well, again, she's completely unfazed by it. Well, being a star, and she continues her spiel. Being a Starfinder is about excitement, competition, discovery, and let's face it, a little danger. And we get into tight scrapes and intense situations because we're doing big, important things. Well, we never settle for less. I want us to be at the forefront of galactic exploration and to stay there. But to do that, we need credits, and we need the public on our side. Zoe Media, the Opulus Corporation, Genote, well, they're the tastemakers in the galaxy these days. If we get their attention, it's the first step to something huge. First step to joining them, right? So what do you say, Starfinders? You ready for prime time? And she pulls up the car in front of a section of Dutembe Park.
I'm
All
always
my little
ready.
hands in the air.
Oh, yeah, of course, dear. I love your latest album, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so happy that you're here for this because, well, you're going to shine like the star you are. And you're basically getting out of the car behind this partially built stage. Aurora introduces you to Jebedo Hamisfor, who is the director, and a Rishir Hiatru, a sort of another Starfinder agent, and who's been sort of a stagehand here. Now you can see that Jebedo is a gnome. He's got bright blue hair, and he's just sort of got a clipboard out, sort of electronic clipboard that he's looking through. And Rishir is a Patra. And here's the image of him. Oops, not that one. And he's kind of looking just sort of like he's just kind of like got all basically kind of like a clearly a stagehand's uniform on, it's kind of all black with a little bit of color here and there, and just sort of waiting patiently to be asked to do something. To begin with, do you all have any questions before we begin?
I say, I can't wait. I'm going to be horrible. It's going to be great. What are we performing?
Oh, well, the script in question is written for and about Starfinders. Now, you don't have to necessarily be a great actor, but because your experience in the field will lend this authenticity. So even if punching bad guys is more your speed, the roles we've got will suit you fine. Now, I've got scripts to hand out for everybody. And she sort of sends you all this script, which I'm about to share with you. Now, you're going to choose from these roles. Since there are only 4 of us, we're actually not going to be choosing the foe role. That's actually going to be a sort of a practical Jinsel stage effect that's almost like a giant marionette. But the other 5 are fair game, and that Rashir will be playing the one that you're not playing. So while just to lay it all out here, while you're going to reading the script, there'll be calls for checks, as you can see in there. You can also probably just press that button and it'll roll the check for you. Those are sort of to lend a little bit of authenticity to the role, and we'll be sort of keeping track of how well you do with these checks and how well you do with the acting within the role playing.
Brig says, "Oh, I'm gonna be the priest. I'm gonna be a great priest."
All right, fascinating.
I'd like to be the leader, and she strikes a pose.
Of course you will, dear. I would expect no less of you.
I could be a warrior. I'm fierce. Rawr.
Of
You are
course.
so fierce.
Well, in that case, not sure what I'm suited to here.
Well, okay. What do you consider yourself good at?
Well, I'm afraid that I've got about the same talents as the talents I have are better suited for the role that have already been claimed.
Which one?
The leader.
Maybe switch
I'll think-
roles. Let me see.
Let's see. I'm more of a diplomat than anything else. I do have a decent I do have decent acrobatics abilities, although I don't really think of myself as much of an acrobat.
You'll be great, I say. Unless you would happen to be better as a priest, then you can be a priest.
Oh,
I could.
No. You are quite suited to that role. You're quite suited. Absolutely. Can I ask who wrote this script exactly?
I assume. You're asking a question. You're asking in character. I thought you were asking me.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I assume Alex wrote it. Well, yeah, that's all directed here. Jebediah.
I see.
And he kind of puffs up a little bit. I mean, it's not the most profound work, but it I think it holds up for what we're doing here. Do you have notes?
Entertaining.
It's awful. I love it.
Oh, well, I don't think it's awful, but
In a good way.
It should be entertaining.
With the sort of discussion of the script, Aurora says, well, just it doesn't matter how good or bad it is. Just lean into it and they'll find it camp.
All right. In which case, I suppose it would probably be best if I took this role as a technician. I
Sure.
doubt it would be wise for me to attempt to roll anywhere if I can't see where I'm going.
Of course.
I nod. I'm like, you're so wise.
Rashir begins sort of limbering up. I guess I'm the acrobat. And so you guys, you all have some time to sort of read over the script, and you're learning your lines. And during that time, if there's anything you want to make a check to prepare, you could help with the scenery a little bit, set up some lights and special effects, get out in the audience and start greeting people. Maybe look at the costumes, because you guys are all putting on costumes that are just basically like over your armor and whatever, just real basic stuff. Or even a perception check if you want to think about the blocking of the scene to plan it out. So everyone should make a check, and just let me know what kind of skill you want to use and how you want to apply it to the preparation of this show.
I am great at watching things. I say I'm a natural born observer. I love staring at stuff. So I'm gonna attempt a perception check to try to make sure that the view people will get is perfect.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hold that roll.
Oh, God. Oh. 19.
Pretty good. So you work with Jebediah a little bit to sort of like to block out the scenes, but you're like pointing things out that he's like, oh well, that's a great point. Yeah, this should happen when they roll behind this rock. It should be, this, that, and the other. So yeah, you're helping to sort of make the for whatever script, whatever words you've got are on the page, but then you're helping for the blocking of the staging of it all to really shine. Who's next?
Well, Lucky is reading through the script and panics when he reads a line from the warrior that infers he should have some kind of pointed weapon on hand. So he's going to go looking through the back for any kind of a prop he could use as a weapon, even if it's just a stick. Let's roll.
You going to roll perception on that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you find it looks like there's like a rack of like foam fake weapons back there right away, and you're able to sort of find one, and you not even find one, you kind of find like one that has the most embellishments on it, and you can maybe even add one or two, to sort of like make it stand out.
Put some feathers on my giant foam doshko.
There you go. Exactly.
I give you
All
some
right.
flowers to weave in on there too.
Yes.
It's gonna really stand out. All right.
Now
who's
it'll
next?
smell great when you wave it around. Just what every weapon needs.
It's just a good smell.
Kirei makes a beeline backstage to the costumes and just kind of like
Mhm.
running her hands over everything and like, wow, I wish I had this kind of wardrobe. Wait, I do, but this is different than mine. And she's just like going through all of the costuming and trying things on, as well as helping other actors like find the best costume and put touches to their makeup and everything. So I'm going to use a disguise check for this.
All right.
An 18.
Yeah. So yeah, you're what you end up doing is kind of like grabbing bits of other costumes and kind of like putting them together to make this fabulous ensemble that would be just sort of stands out more than any of the individual costumes that are back there. And you can even actually probably grab a couple stuff for your fellow Starfinders to try on and really make them pop. And Saul.
Yeah, I think I'd like to use a diplomacy check to like try to help with the audience, like try to.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if I can like either try to attract people to the audience or like help organize the quote unquote house for the. It's an outdoor theater, but help basically just help keep everything, get the audience together, all that kind of business.
Yeah, great. Killing it. So yeah, it is an outdoor theater, like you said. So it's also basically like a free variety show for the most part. So yeah, you're calling people, sort of like getting people excited to sort of wander in, who may not have been planning to come here, and you're essentially packing the seats in the house, and even the sort of making it a little bit in a standing room only up front, right in front of the stage. And it looks like everyone's getting very excited. There's a buzz in the crowd. Aurora is just sort of watching with this huge smile on her face, and she says, "All right, y'all, it's showtime. I want you to get out there. Do your best, but of course, you shine like the diamonds you are." And she lets you at it. So let's begin the script. The sort of there's a simulated hollow curtain across the front of this outdoor stage that lifts up to show all of you sort of standing there in these kind of like fancy, almost vaguely Star Trek-y kind of uniforms, as if you were, and with prominent Starfinder Society like emblems on them, and of course completely spruced up.
They're bedazzled.
Kyrie. Yeah, completely bedazzled by Kyrie. And so when you read your lines here, also read the stage directions, and then if it's a name in brackets, you just refer to the character who is playing that role.
Out of character, can I just be reminded of it was our Patra friend who's standing in, right, for the acrobat? And what is their name?
And Rashir.
Rashir. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Rashir
with a.
Okay. So we come out, I'm holding a obviously fake scanner. no sign of life in the area, Kirei. I think we're finally safe from the Jin Soul forces. And tap tap. I can't see what I'm doing.
Well, let's see how you do. It's pretty clear that you are just kind of like you even like well, you don't even have a scanner.
Scanner's
got,
upside
like,
down. Or...
Yeah, it's upside
it might
down.
Be upside down.
You've got the back of it. You're just sort of tapping, but it's fine.
Excellent, Zarket. That was some quick thinking back there. We'd never have escaped without you.
Kirei, I should say that my excellent fighting had something to do with it too.
Yeah, you're right, of course. We all contributed to the mission's success.
Indeed, you're right, Sprig. Your healing spells kept us all on our feet. Say, has anyone seen Bashir?
Bashir comes leaping out from behind a rock. I'm right here, Kirei, but I have bad news. Our starship's over the next hill, but we've got company.
Gasp. Company? You don't mean...
Oh, yes. And he turns at the audience. Jinsels. Even the audience gets a little frisson of excitement.
I wave all my little elf fan around in panic.
Now, everybody, let's not panic. They may have found our starship, but we're smarter than those leg-bladed monsters. Remember your training. She strikes a pose and gets an 18 on her diplomacy check.
Okay, good.
Lucky will pull out the blinged out Doshko and say, hit him with the pointy end, and try to intimidate.
Okay, not as intimidating as you would hope. And then this Jinsel. Oh, do we have a picture of a Jinsel for everyone to see? Oh no, I don't think we have one at the moment. But a Jinsel is sort of this like multi-legged, almost arachnid kind of creature, with a all purple with these sort of very bladed legs, lots of sort of sharp bits on their legs. But this is, of course, a sort of recreation of a recreation, not a recreation, a recreation of a Jinsel that is clearly also like a marionette. It's sort of like plomp plomp plomp. And from off stage, there's the voiceover that comes from it.
Not so fast, Starfinders. We have you surrounded.
Doris, my old foe. Your foul magics hold no power here. My strength in deity? I mean, Wei-Dan. My strength in Wei-Dan will keep us safe from you. And I'm rolling a mysticism check.
Yeah. You maybe have a little bit of a small like magic flare when that happens too. Woo, a little bit of minor deific power.
It's too late for you. My warriors are the most fearsome in the galaxy. For too long, we have lived in fear of the Starfinders, but no longer. You may have rescued your friends from Cadrakal's prison, but our vengeance begins today.
Nay, sir, we Starfinders have stopped you before, and we shall do so again. Team, get 'em! And she points very exaggeratedly the wrong direction, probably, with a 13.
It's a little off.
Okay. I turn the right way. Oh, you got it, boss.
Wait, don't attack him yet. Use this. And I kind of go off stage and pull a very obviously fake inner sight. It's like a bike that has been covered in paper mache.
Definitely.
I built this for you. It's collapsible.
Thanks, comrade. Now I'm really ready to fight.
Make a pun check.
Climbs over the cycle and then starts running with it between its legs with an athletics check.
Velociraptors on inner cycles.
Oh no.
Even though you totally miss, I shout, I hit! A palpable hit!
Now it's my turn. Take this, you pointed purple menace. And Rashir does a trick attack, flipping around, and clearly stage combating stabs at the fake Jinsel.
Ah, that hurt. But I'm not finished yet.
Slice with his bladed leg, and Rashir goes dramatically and falls to the ground. Ugh.
No, Rashir. I scamper over to the Rashir side, except that my little legs are very slow, so it takes like a really long time of me going, no, I'm not letting you go. Stay with me. And I do totally amazing first aid right here.
All right, let's see it. Fake first aid. Oh,
Ooh,
totally
25.
amazing.
I'm
Totally
actually good
amazing
at it.
fake first aid.
I whisper at Rashir, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, it's good. He's a little bit surprised by that, but then he remembers his line, and he looks up and says, I want you to know, I always. Ugh.
Ha ha ha! You stand weak before the might of the Jinsels.
I'll show you weak. Take this. And I throw, it says, quote, a glowing ball. So it's, it's probably literally just a glowing ball. They probably sell those as children's toys,
Yeah, it's like a foam Nerf ball.
I look suitably impressed by the glowy ball.
Ooh, and you clock this fake Jinsel right in this sort of head, and it bounces off into the audience, and people kind of scramble to get it.
No, the nigger grenade. I thought it was a myth.
The Starfinders are the stuff of legend. Who else would bring that story to life?
The just fake Jinsel staggers left and right.
No, I am slain.
And then whoever's up in the catwalks above just lets go of the wires, and the fake Jinsel kind of slumps into nothings.
All right, team, we've got one more job to do. Quick, get the injured to the starship. Double time.
We must move carefully. I have to keep Rashir stable.
Would you like me to carry them? I pick up Rashir.
And it's sort of like you kind of get your Hanekin neck kind of underneath his shoulder, so you can kind of and he's like dragging his feet a little bit, faking but mostly moving under his own power.
I'll go ahead and scan the area. Away we go, team.
And the hollow curtain closes to some applause. People seem to enjoy it. There was clearly some chuckles at a few of your missteps, but for the most part, it appears to be a success. The fake Jinsel staggers left and staggers right and says,
No, I am slain.
And the person up in the catwalks lets go of the wires. This sort of puppet sort of slumps to the ground. But before any of you can continue to finish the play, as you're standing up on the stage, you can't help but notice that there are a couple of shady-looking Lashunta youths making their way through the crowd. Up at the sort of that sort of standing room only spot that's sort of right in front of the stage, and they are like pickpocketing people, sort of left and right. And you can kind of see from the wings that Aurora is kind of noticing, and she's kind of like gesturing to maybe do something heroic about it. So continue your line, and as you sort of say your lines, if there's anything you all want to add to your line to sort of like try to stop this crime in progress, or make it appear like part of the show or something like that, let me know. So we're at leader. All right, team.
Uh-oh, hold on, sorry, I've got to get my
Oh yeah, you closed it. Yeah,
I dropped my script. Uh-oh. See, it is in, I know it's normally in the journal, but I'm not, let's see,
let me just sort of show it to you again.
Yeah, that'll
there
work.
It is.
Okay, so we are at
near the end. Leader. All right, team.
All right, team. Okay. All right, team, we've got one more job to do. Quick, get the injured to the starship. Double time. And remember, it's wrong to take things that don't belong to you. And she says it in like the cheesy, like way that like a stinger for a popular TV show would have like a little voiceover, like, remember kids, don't do bad things. Can I make a diplomacy check for that?
Yeah.
To try to reach the person making a bad choice in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try that. That's a 14.
What occurs is that you kind of get everyone's attention onto the pickpockets. Everyone in the who's standing up, you kind of maybe they do a point, and people are like, oh, and they, as they're kind of like tucking something quickly away into their like tunic. They kind of like shrug, and everyone in the audience now kind of thinks this is part of the show. But so they're not like grabbing them or trying to stop them in any way.
I shout, "We must move carefully. I have to keep Rashir stable." And I start trying to help Locust 7 carry Rashir. But as I do, I like kind of flail my L fan around and stretch him out a little bit. So I look oh no, I was saying I'm gonna look terribly menacing and intimidating at the little pickpockets, and I realized I'm really bad at that. So
well, you
I'm
can
gonna
give
do
it a try
a bluff check.
That's
to
also
look
good.
like
Yeah, I
I'm
love it.
totally intimidating. And it's excellent.
That was almost a really good roll on the die. But yeah, you just kind of fling your hands, and then like these kids kind of like are looking around like, well, they don't really know what's happening, and they begin to sort of edge their way away from the crowd and maybe even fully to leave the area altogether with their ill-gotten goods. Dustin,
All right.
you have one more line. Do you want to do something too?
Yes. I'll help carry them, but watch out. There's always thieves on the battlefields looking for easy pickings. Fortunately, if I see them and they try to get away with goods that don't belong to them, I'll be sure to show them the real extent of my warrior training. And I will try to scare them into thinking that once the show's over, I'm going to hunt them down.
Right, give them an intimidate. Ooh, all right, yeah. They kind of freeze up a little bit, and they kind of are looking at each other like, oh gosh, what do we do? So you have the last line.
I'll go ahead and scan the area, and when I say that, I'm gonna turn, and I can't say that I quote unquote look right at them with the blank eyes. Nothing is going to get past me, and you can't slip away. Away we go, team.
Lovely. Do you want to try intimidating them? We'll go ahead.
You can tell me if that's an intimidate or a bluff. I don't.
Whichever one is better for you, I would say.
Honestly, bluff is better. Let's
Fair
try
enough.
bluff.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Great. So you you kind of, but perhaps you can kind of like they're getting a little bit afraid. Maybe you can kind of like scent a little bit where they are. So you kind of do look right at them, and the conviction in your voice that they will never get away. And they kind of like quickly drop a couple of the things that they've stolen, and then sort of drop everything that they've got, and they kind of book out of here. And the people who are like, oh, that's my stuff, kind of like begin looking over it. The hollow curtain closes. Everyone else is kind of applauding, like, yeah, that was a great little ending. I like the audience interaction part of it, and so forth. And so there's some applause, and Aurora steps up on the stage to meet you all again, and she's like, oh, let's have y'all take a bow again. Open the curtain. And she's there, standing there, sort of like gesturing at you all to take another bow. And of course, there's some more applause, and then you all come off stage, and she's like, "Oh, my goodness gracious! Look, wait, already we've getting I've gotten some calls from some talent agents who might want to talk to one or two of you for some future Starfinder appearances on the network. So I think this was a complete success. I think that, and the way you scared off those criminals. Oh, that is the sort of thing that Starfinders are definitely. They're known for that kind of thing. Just sort of like when something unexpected happens and crops up, they're always there to improvise and lend a hand. I'm so grateful for this, and I hope that in the future I could perhaps count on your vote when the time comes. Of course, I know you probably have other people to see, but think kindly of Aurora Everbright on the ballot, and she actually hands you a gift. It is a hood ornament that she sort of pries it off her car. And it's a hood ornament shaped like a sharp wing. And she said, "Oh, this has helped me out several scrap races. I think you should have it as sort of a token of my esteem. Not that I'm trying to buy you a vote or anything." So I'm gonna
thanks, and then I like randomly pass it to one of you guys because I don't drive.
Yeah, it's something you would put on a vehicle. So for right now, it is sort of a souvenir.
For now, I'll stick it up with my flowers, and it'll like look like I've got some kind of tiara thing going on.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, a sharp wing being a sort of pterodactyl-like creature with eyes everywhere. Did that work? I dragged it over to you, and it. Let me try this.
I lean over to Zarket and I compliment them on being so wonderfully terrifying.
Thank you. It's amazing what you can get by with when people don't know what you really are underneath.
Right there. It's not in. Search this one. There it is. All right. I should be in your. Good. Should be in your inventory if I can finally. There it is. Oh, it's like there's 3 of them in there now. Of course. Great. It's in your inventory, Sprig. If you ever want to take a look at it later. But for now, it's probably more of a souvenir than anything. Aurora is then
a stylish hat.
Or a stylish hat, exactly.
A stylish hat, yeah.
So Aurora goes back to Jebediah and sort of is talking over next steps for this for the show. And the 4 of you are free to talk to another candidate if you wish.
Who should we go see next?
I squat down in the nearest patch of soil and I just stare at Locust 7 and Zarket, watching them until one of them makes up their mind.
I'd be interested in speaking with sarmak. I was interested in their his mandate. Sounded intriguing.
Adventure calls, and then I run off, even though I probably have no quite idea where I'm going.
Our vehicle's going without us.
Leading the way.
Absalom Station's public transit. We'll ride.
Well, yeah, because you got a car ride to the park. You've got to take the public transit back to the Lore Spire complex because Sarmak is in the Archives Cortex, which is deep within the complex. It is a heavily fortified and air-gap space that's home to dozens of humming server banks. There's terminals lining the walls, allowing Starfinders to access research files and digital records of all kinds. Separate rooms contain private research spaces, complete with holographic displays, electronic whiteboards, and mini fridges with snacks. One of those rooms is occupied by an imposing Isilgoon. Holograms of archaeological sites and megastructures float in the space around his quadrupedal body as he uses his upper arms to sort through them. As you arrive, he steps off his sort of raised platform that he was on, and he says, "Oh, greetings, Starfinders. I suppose Ehu sent you. My name is Sarmak. Forgive any missteps. I'm not really used to giving briefings like this. Would you care for a refreshment?" And he offers you this a sealed container of store-bought cookies.
Ooh, I'd love a cookie.
I look at him oddly, and then I look at the cookies. Go, okay. I tear into the cookies, and then I slurp at it for a little while, and then I'm like, no, this is definitely not a refreshment, and then I eat it.
Fair enough. This here is what Sarmak looks like. As you can see, he's got this sort of green skin with the 4 legs and 2 arms. And while you're sort of munching on the cookies, he's kind of nervously kind of engaging a little small talk. Oh, how has your day been so far?
That's
I
really
was in
good.
a horrible play.
We fought
Oh,
some
oh.
Jinsols.
We met this
Oh.
super cute pilot with an amazing costume and a cool car, and she gave us a ride, and then we were in a play, and it was cheesy, but it was really good.
She gave me
And
this lovely hat.
Oh, that isn't it? That's where you fought Jinsuls at a play?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Fake
Oh.
Jinsels. Fake in the play.
Oh, they're in the play. Oh, I
way
see.
less exciting.
I'll tell you what is exciting is of course large megastructures. Yes. And he sort of brings up a holographic display of
Like a concert hall?
well, could be. You see this sort of holographic display of these jagged plates of steel jutting up into the sky, miles high and hundreds of miles long. Each one end planted firmly in a planet's swampy surface. This is from my home world. Since my people made contact with the Pact Worlds, these titanic megastructures such as this one across the galaxy have been quite fascinating to me, such as the world shards of Arshalan, the radiant cathedral on the burning archipelago, and the riven shroud, Absalom Station itself even. Perhaps it's my large size that yearns for halls 30 feet across. Right. And then he switches the holographic display that it looks like this ancient megacity. Of course, we've never built such structures on Isilran, my homeworld, though if we delve further into the lives of my ancestors, we find similar feats of engineering, but more than the structures and more than the technology involved, their creators is what's fascinating to me. And then there's a picture of a satellite photograph of Abalon, which is sort of a grayish, dusty world with a large mega city sort of on it in various spots. And then one of those, he sort of shows, well, I'm an electrician by trade. I like to fix things. We had some simple constructs back home, but an entire world of intelligent technological constructs. I never imagined such a place could exist. Abalon and the legends of the first ones have captured my imagination. I just had to know more. And then he calls up another image, which shows this stone structure on the outskirts, sort of not within a city, just sort of in this sort of dusty gray outskirts. Recently, my research uncovered information about this here site. We think it's a temple dedicated to the first ones, built long ago by their Anasite followers. Something there is drawing huge amounts of power from the city, though. It's if you're willing, I'd like to send you in to have a look. Abalon's ruling insight array, of course, has authorized us to investigate and figure out what the source of the power drain is. If it's mobile, bring it back here for further analysis. But if it's too big, just document what you find and bring me back as much information as you can. And he shuts off the hologram. I understand that this is a lot. It's coming from a simple electrician, but if somehow I do become the next first seeker, I'd like to dedicate some time to learning more about the first ones. Would you be willing to help me?
You got it, boss.
Certainly.
I give him a
Thank
flower.
you. Thank you.
We're in.
Oh, lovely. And he kind of smells it with his nose appendages, and then tries. He spends like a full half a minute trying to figure out where to attach it to his armor. And
I'm
then
not
just
sure
kind
if
of
he knows, so I tell him it's not a refreshment.
Oh no, I didn't think it was. No. And it's just kind of rested on his shoulder, kind of awkwardly. I don't really have a place to pin it. Oh no, I'll leave it on the desk for now, and set it next to the cookies. But I do appreciate it.
Lucky looks up from the box of half-eaten cookies and goes, "More refreshments?"
Oh yes, of course. There's a little mini fridge there. There's some canned drinks and I think some maybe some meat and cheese snacks.
Oh, okay. I'll look for first ones in there.
I don't think
I
there'll be
dash over there and I pull out with my elfan like a can of soda that's as tall as I am.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were thirsty. I would have offered you something a little sooner. if anyone would like to know more about Avalon or the first ones, you can attempt a culture or a diplomacy check to look it up on the webs. Infosphere. Gosh, I'd
can pull
almost
out a
forgotten what the word was.
Diplomacy check.
Ooh, okay.
I can try a
More
culture check.
amazing rolls from me. Oh, look, I wore off on you guys too.
All
Oh,
I
Lord.
do is pull out my comm unit and I check space. And I
Wow.
get distracted, like on social media when I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be looking it up.
Right. Yeah. Indeed.
I saw that Aurora followed me back. And I
Got
was
it.
like,
We're gonna do great at this.
We'll do great. Zarkay, you're able to find that that like the basics about Avalon, how it's a planet that's almost entirely occupied by robotic people called anacytes, and they're sapient and they're citizens of the Pact Worlds. But there's not much about who the first ones are or why they worship the first ones, or if it's even like a worship or whatever. Yeah. So yes, of course. There is I have a transport arranged for you to take a shuttle to Avalon whenever you're ready to do that.
Great.
Great.
Adventure calls, and then I run out without finding out where the shuttle is.
It's at the.
So hopefully someone else does.
Yes, tell your friend it's at the docks.
Thank you. And is there anything else, any other information you need us to know before we head out?
Oh no, again, where you're going is of little interest to the anacytes, who anacytes who live nearby. So as long as we share with them what we learn, they're happy to let us investigate. But I guess, but we never know what's going to be there. So of course, be careful and you'll need to activate your most likely activate your environmental protections since the anacytes. Since Avalon has no atmosphere, because the anacytes there don't need to breathe.
Yes.
That
Thank
means
you.
no food grows on there either, so we better take this with us. And I will attempt
please.
to take the fridge.
Oh, the fridge is property of the Starfinder Society, and
I'll bring it
please
back.
take anything. No, but if it's plugged in, it's more or less attached. If you could take the food, take as much food as you like.
Okay.
You can raid the whole thing if you like.
Yeah.
So, you head to the shuttle. As designated. There's a sort of a docking bay where there's a shuttle there. A large uplifted bear who introduces himself as Beartess Rowclaw is your pilot. I'll be your pilot for the trip. Would someone roll me a 1d6 plus 1 to see how long it takes you to get to Avalon from Absalom Station? It takes a good 4 days in the shuttle. It's not cramped though, even though it's a small vessel. It's clear that since Bartos is a large individual, he's made a lot of space for large creatures, so it's quite roomy within the shuttle. And he's he
like a bed.
yeah, essentially the one. Yeah, I didn't make any accommodations for smaller folks such as yourself. So feel free to. Sorry, the chairs are so big.
I say this is great.
Good. Okay. Well, I spend most of my time living in here, so I like to keep it comfy. He's very curious about who you are and what you're up to and where you're from, and if anyone wants to, he's got an Imperial Conquest board, which is a sort of a holographic board game that he offers to play to sort of pass the time.
Absolutely. Zarkat would absolutely play a few rounds with him or anybody who wanted to.
Yeah.
Anytime someone's playing, I like squat down and just stare with my face practically over the board game, just staring at them. The players, not the game.
Right. Fair enough. You find Bartos to be pretty good at this game. Probably he has a lot of time to play it. And a few days later, you arrive. The pilot, he contacts ground control, and you find a safe landing site near the temple, but away from the city. Again, Avalon's atmosphere is thin, so Bartos reminds you to activate your environmental protections as you step out. And as you do, puffs of metallic gray dust sort of accompany the short walk to the large stone structure. The front of the building is dominated by an archway with sharp angles and inlaid circuitry, lending a sense of imposing might to the facade. And you can see through that archway opening inside, there are flickering lights. And why don't I take you to the map? Now, this is just right here, what you can see, the right up at the entryway. It does look like you could walk around the building if you wanted to. Otherwise, let me know what you want to do.
This kind of does look like a concert hall. She's just gonna take a look at the building first before anything else.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to walk all the way around, or just sort of look at the building from just this vantage point?
Depends on where everyone else is going, because I'm not gonna split up the group here. So
Okay.
she'll start walking, kind of walking around, but not go too far from her teammates.
Yeah. Again, this is a stone, like an older stone building, but it also has this sort of like circuitry sort of woven through the stone that does occasionally light up.
Brig says, swanky place. And she looks like she intends to just walk right in, but if you start going that way, she'll go with you. She doesn't mind if we circle around. Bloop, bloop.
You get there's a little notch alcove in the front, but the building continues on.
No windows or anything, just like
No
straight.
windows on,
Okay.
at least not on this wall, at any rate. Yeah, that you can see.
Let's just go in.
I think as we're moving around, Zerka's gonna like take off a glove and just kind of be running it along the closest wall, just feeling the path of the circuitry and just feeling what the stone is like.
Yeah,
Careful, glowing things like that are scary.
It's
I mean,
glowing.
I describe it for you, Zarket, and I offer you one of my little elfan tendrils if she assumes that you seem to be getting along just fine. But she offers you an elfan to hold your hand if you want, and she helps show you around. And she spends the entire time describing it to you. Loudly.
Zarket, you can feel like as you touch these walls and maybe even the floors, your steps as you're walking in, like the whole thing is kind of thrumming with a low level of power, right? It's got that faint vibrations of energy running through it. And as the lot of you walk into this sort of like opening entrance, a light comes on, sort of like illuminating this hall a little bit more. And in front of you, in the shadows, you see a structure. It looks almost like a capped pyramid.
Uh-oh.
I say, I think you mean Nito, and I run up closer, and I look around. I'm going to do a perception check.
All right.
Yeah.
From here, Sprig, you can what did you have a low light vision or anything like that?
Yeah, I have low light vision, and I think I also have bioluminescent skin, so I also glow.
Oh, you give off a little bit of a glow.
Here. Yeah, I go boop,
yeah.
and then all my little flowers and everything start to glow brightly. So I'm a walking little lantern.
Oh, awesome. But from the light that you have here in front of you, you can see a little bit more. This is kind of like a red pyramid. Again, there's some steps facing you that lead up to the top, this flat top, which has a something on top of it, like a rectangular structure on top of it. There's also at the top, there's like 4 urns, it looks like, maybe, or small statues arranged at the corners.
Neato. And then she just randomly wanders off this way. There's something up there.
As you get a little closer,
nobody has told her to be cautious. We'll just let the mystic go first. This is gonna be a great plan.
Yeah. I mean, as you get a little closer, some other maybe they're motion activated or something. A light comes on, sort of displaying this pyramid for all to see.
It is a stage.
You're gonna be great.
It might be for casting strange rituals. There could be something really dangerous around us.
Well,
Or it could be for singing at.
As you all get a little bit closer, have all of you turned on your armor's environmental protections at this point? I suppose.
Yes.
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 Yes. I just want to make sure you do. Your armors are all ticking. The little Geiger counters on your armor are ticking. You're sort of entered an area of radiation that the environmental protections are protecting you from. But if they were to get higher, they might not. So that's something
I say.
to think about.
I don't like that. You
Yeah.
should go sing.
Yeah, maybe if I sing, it'll be
Gesture
better.
with my elf friends that you should lead the way.
All right.
I'm really worried about my flowers wilting.
Okay. She'll kind of with purpose step up the staircase here and kind of paying attention, like glancing back down at her armor counter to see if it's getting worse as she moves.
You take a single step on the step. Another light comes on, sort of showing the entire this whole area. It's almost similar to sometimes when you walk out on stage and the sort of spotlights follow you along, right? It does come up. You see that there's some sort of this rectangle, some sort of stone slab, but every step you take, the counter gets a little higher. It's not quite in danger level yet, but it seems like the top of this pyramid might be in that danger zone.
You said the lights flick on. Do I actually see the whole room now? Should I see the whole room now?
You should. Do you not? Oh, you see everything.
No,
that
I don't.
You can see because of the light. Oh no! What do you see?
I see the
we see
pyramid.
pyramid.
That's interesting. I see. I didn't
see
know that the
around
pyramid
it.
was walled. Let me. Oh, that is weird. I'm going to remove
Mystery of the pyramid.
All right, I'm going to do that. Okay. How's that look?
Yes, now I can see stuff.
Yeah, you can see. I mean, some of it is, some of it on the back is blocked by the pyramid. And apologies, Foundry, that I went into your maps and deleted the walls you put around this pyramid. But otherwise, this map is really cool looking. And really awesome. So you can't quite. I'd say you can't. I should have maybe not deleted that you could see past the pyramid, but.
Well, she
Theater of the mind here.
is going up the stairs. I'm gonna randomly just look around the corner and go look at a pillar and see what's on the pillar.
Oops, nope. The pillars are simple pillars. They have some decorations on them, but for the most part, they don't appear to have anything they don't have any writing on them or anything like that. You can
even the one with the
see-
spikes.
Even the ones with the spikes, they're weird. That's just more or less decoration.
Can I
Sprig-
see? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, Sprig. Also, you notice that there's some space behind the pyramid, right? And then to the sort of northwest, there's another hallway that leads out of this room. Jenny,
Can I see any writing or pictures or anything else as I get just right close to the top, to the stage?
all right, yeah. You're not. Do you have physical science?
No, I don't.
Okay. What you can see, besides this stone sort of tablet, one would say, right? And there's these 4 empty basins around it. But on top of the tablet, there's as you get closer, you can see this teardrop-shaped device, with faint sort of, again, circuitry lines kind of crossing it left and right.
There's
It's
some
kind of seems to be.
Oh, is it what? Sorry.
It's kind of looks like it might be sort of attached, not just sort of resting on top of the thing. It's slotted into the stone.
There's some kind of device up here, maybe a crystal or some kind of computer, ancient relic, something. I don't know what it is. Does anyone else know about that kind of thing?
Frigg says, I know all kinds of things.
Just
I'm a
don't get on
scientist,
top
you
of
know.
the pyramid. Yeah, you probably should come look at this. Just don't get on top of the pyramid. I think it's dangerous.
Okay, I scan for up as close as I can.
And I'll
Okay.
kind of, if I need to step back, although I know she's small, so probably can.
I'm tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah, you can
Scoot up near
occupy
your
the same
feet.
space.
Your
Yeah.
boots are probably taller than I am.
Probably.
I scoot on up there. Engineering? You want an engineering?
Yeah, give an engineering or physical
I got
science.
mysticism. I'm gonna give you engineering then.
Give me an engineering check.
I have amazing rolls today. I got a
You're
6
doing
on the
really
dice
good.
for
That's
18.
pretty good. You have those extra pluses that are definitely doing it for you. You do sense that most likely that this, because that you feel a current kind of running through this entire pyramid, and you suspect that if that were turned off, that's also the source of the radiation.
Oh.
Right.
So I think that the teardrop
yeah.
is doing that, or I think that there is
No,
elsewhere, like it's powered.
Yeah, it's this whole pyramid is drawing power from elsewhere, possibly in this building, and probably this is the power that's being drained from the city, the nearby city. So but if there's a way to sort of like, this is an area built by machine people. Most likely, there's a control room or a switch or something that you can shut off electricity.
Everybody look for an off switch. And then I nod. Like, this is a very wise, very deep thing. I had to think really hard to tell you we should turn it off.
Okay.
Indeed.
Was that crystal up there a button?
No, I didn't think that No, I didn't think that. Did I? Or did I misunderstand?
No, you're not sure.
Okay.
No, you're not sure what this crystal is, and maybe it's some sort of device that can be removed. It didn't appear to be a button, but it could have maybe.
So I want
to
turn off the power to the pyramid before I go up on top of the pyramid to try to steal the pretty teardrop thing.
And generally, knowing engineering stuff, that's kind of often how stuff works, right?
All right, let's look for that off switch.
Okay, I start following her. Boop.
Mm-hmm. You can see there's a little doorway, and as you step through, there's a couple steps up, and as you get in there, the lights come on. Should turn on these.
Convenient.
Yeah, they're definitely at this point. You're sure it's motion tracked, because Zarket, like behind you, you see that some of the lights leading in the hallway you came in start to turn off as none of you are in there.
I noticed none of this.
Vibrations.
That's fair.
That she can sense. Stop.
There's maybe a little bit of you feel a little light heat from the light, maybe shut off. But there's all these other flickering lights around, so that probably doesn't track.
We can also tell you that the lights. Oh, hey, lights came on over here, and like, oh wow, it's getting darker.
I think I found a dead end. What's in here?
I don't like this building watching us.
Kirei, by the way, you were at that
intersection.
Audience.
Yes.
You were at that intersection. You saw that actually to the north that led back outside. So it looks like there was another entrance to the north there on the north side of the temple.
Okay, and I'll relay this to everyone as I'll start describing what I'm seeing as I walk through. What's in here?
I say I'm pretty sure I found a dead end. Oh, no, I found a little hallway.
Yeah, you found like a weird sort of hallway for you to peer out onto the main hall.
I suddenly look so thrilled. I'm like, oh, I found a spying room.
A spying room, a peering room. This room looks pretty bare. The one that you just walked in, Kirei and Lucas. It looked like it might have been used for storage at one point. But as you explore a little deeper and explore a little further, you find this L-shaped room has translucent panels on the wall.
Ooh.
That look like they have this sort of L-shaped room that everyone's currently in.
Got it.
I'm not pinging because I'm selecting lights. Has some translucent panels on the wall that have basically readings and whatnot sort of ticking along. And mostly it looks like in some sort of computer code. It looked like the just code scrolling by on these sort of translucent monitors. There's also sort of where that urn looking thing is a small control panel with several switches that are blinking.
I go look at the control panel. I have perception or engineering, but if it's computers you need, I do not do computers.
That's fair. There is a plexiglass covering over the switches and buttons that looks like it has a lock on it.
Engineering? I pull out my
Yes,
little
you can-
tools.
Yeah, if you got the
My
tools to do it,
engineer's
you can-
tools.
Your engineer toolkit can maybe open up this mechanism.
Okay, let me make sure I got it on. Yes, I think it will add my bonus.
Ooh,
I rolled horrible again.
you did real bad.
You're
Natural
welcome.
1. So you are trying it, but you can't quite get it open. You can try it again if you want.
I will try it again while complaining that this is impossible. Clearly was not made for tiny little hands.
Which of course means you get it open seconds later. After you say it's
Excellent.
impossible, you just click it open, and you can flip open the sort of plexiglass blockage there, shield. There are 2 switches and an indicator light on this. There's text under each of the switches and those lights, but it's written in, you're not sure what kind of, it's not any language that you know. It looks kind of like archaic. It kind of looks like it might be computer code, so someone with computers could check it out. Otherwise, culture to use to get a rough translation.
Are they the same length?
Yeah, thereabouts. The text on the light is a little longer, I would say. Just so you know, there's the first switch looks like it has 3 settings, and it's in the central setting. There's a second switch which has 2 settings, and it's on the lower setting.
I
Upper
say,
setting.
can anyone read this? I ask if anyone can read the words.
If you wrote this on the wall, I could read it, but I don't know what this says.
Yeah.
I
Again,
randomly toggle a toggle. Unless someone can read it.
I will try a 16 culture check.
Kira, you get a vague translation of what these are. Although it's like they're clearly been like even shorthanded, abbreviated. Because the first one is he translates to just the letters LTS.
I
the
love
second
abbreviations.
The second switch is just labeled RAD, and the set of lights is just labeled the letters SEC. Now, this is a sort of a not a direct translation. These aren't necessarily one for one, runes, but that's basically the point of it. The lights, there are 2 that are lit and 1 that is kind of flickering.
Is the the rad switch, is that one of the ones that's lit or flickering?
Oh no, the lights seem to be
the lights are
different from the
flickering.
switches. Okay. So there's 2 switches. One, the LTS sort of set in the center, and it looks like you can push it up or down. The one that's labeled RAD is up, and it looks like you could flip it down. And the lights don't have any switches sort of associated with them. They're just lights.
Okay, I'm going to try to flip the RAD switch down, hoping that
Okay.
means radiation.
You flip it down. There's a sort of a sense of like you don't quite hear it's almost subsonic, but you can kind of get a feeling of something powering down.
Great
But
job.
none of the lights change or anything like
I
that.
say, assuming you did something amazing.
Well, I think we should go check, but I don't know what this other switch does.
Brig gives the amazing advice of you should just flick it. We'll find out. That's science.
That's science
Really?
indeed.
That's science. Yeah, you just test things and call it science.
Okay, let's do some science, and she'll like flick the other switch.
Oh no.
Okay,
To do.
it's in the central. It's in the central position. Do you flip it up or do you flip it down?
What did it say again? Was it SEC?
LTS.
LTS. Oh, I don't know what that means. Let's see. Up or down? Let's flip it up.
Okay, you flip it up. Those of you in the other hallway see lights that in rooms that you are not in turn on. Just doom, 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 doom.
You turn the lights on.
Yay!
Great job. You're a great scientist.
Should I try flipping it down too and see what happens? Would that be more science?
That's super science.
Okay, let's
They
do
might
it.
even like give you a doctorate for that or something. That's like super science.
Oh wow.
Doctorate in light switch.
A doctor and an idol. That's amazing. So I'm gonna flip it down and see what happens.
Okay. All of the lights turn off, plunging you into darkness.
I
Okay.
clap.
I'm not gonna turn all of them off because you're probably gonna turn that switch immediately.
Yeah, I'll
right?
turn it back on.
Okay. Bloop, 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 bloop. Before they even
I
all get
clap
to
for
turn off,
you.
you turn them back on.
I explained to Zarket how amazing she did some amazing magic at the console over there, and then she's making the lights go on and off. It's very complicated.
So we found the light switch. We
You found the light switch.
And
Possibly
there's
the-
nothing
I
else in there, right?
say I'm gonna go check if I die if I go on this pyramid now.
Fair enough. Yeah, those other lights that are labeled SEC are still like 2 of them are on and 1 of them is off, blinking sort of erratically. Sprig, you approach the pyramid and your environmental controls show no signs of radiation.
I say yay, and then I clap.
And you can make your
I'm
way up.
pretty
to the
sure my
top.
flowers won't fall out if I go up here now.
Yeah.
I will do so. Boop.
I'm also gonna
think
go
you
up
should-
there and start testing the acoustics.
Fair enough.
Probably be
Kira, as you sort of
cautious.
past the eastern end of the pyramid thing, you do notice that there's sort of like a oh gosh, what to describe that? There is like a small window in the back of that wall. It's like set high and it's very small and it's not even real glass, like a frosted glass, so you can't even really see through it. And it's got circuits sort of lining it, right? And there's 2 statues sort of flanking this sort of central circular, very large pool that appears to be filled with some sort of thick black oil. And that's this sort of this big sort of central area here, and these 2 metal statues flanking it. Anyway, up on top of the pyramid,
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's about 15 foot up from the floor at the top.
I'm gonna roll a perception to see if I can take
Yeah.
out the teardrop.
Take a look at that thing. This shape looks like it's got some lines, maybe seams, kind of around it, and almost like a closed flower bud, right?
Mhm.
So think of the teardrop being sort of literally the bottom of the teardrop is sort of attached to the stone, and the pointy end is sort of pointing up.
And I see. So I see a seam. You said, right? So I think I can.
Yeah, there looks like
take
several
it out?
seams. You can. It doesn't feel like you'd have to really wrestle it. It does seem like it could come out. You have to really wrestle at it to get it out, or maybe engineering it to get it out. But also, it does look like with the several seams, you could open it as well, like a flower.
I will engineering then. I do have that. Crack out my little tools. I'm gonna try to get it out. And more amazing rolls. Eventually, I'm gonna roll
Amazing
over
rolls.
a 10 on the dice today.
You try to like unscrew it, and it's not unscrewing. Maybe you're turning it the wrong way.
Impossible! I shout. I waggle my
Impossible.
old pen around. If no one comes to help me, I just try again. Nothing bad
Okay.
happens yet, right?
Nothing bad has happened to you.
I try again.
You turn it the other way and remove the teardrop. There is a hollow clunk coming from inside the pyramid. And Kirei, the where you're standing, the top of the stairs turns into basically a slide, and
Oh.
scoots you down down the bottom to the bottom.
Ah.
I do need you to make a, I believe a reflex save
Okay.
to keep your feeding. Keep your feeding. Keep your footing.
You're feeding. Let me see. Let me find my character sheet. It popped out. Oh no.
I'm too busy waving this teardrop thing above my head to really notice. Dancing around.
Okay, reflex save. Here we go. What did I get? 16.
What? So like as it slides, you kind of just ride the slide down, like, and maybe like sparkles come off of you, almost as if you're like surfing your way down. You're. Do you have these ribbons all behind you as well? It looks great. Whatever happens, it looks just fantastic as you hit the bottom, fully footed, one would say. But what you do notice is that as you sort of maybe do a little ta-da gesture, these two metal statues grind into into movement. Crank.
That doesn't sound good.
You can all kind of hear it happening. And they look hostile for sure. We're gonna have a little combat fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wrapped the little teardrop up in my elf fan and put it behind my back like it's backpack, just like in my little picture.
Just like in a little picture. I will show you a picture of these things. They're made of completely out of metal and quite smooth. These statues, but they are humanoid in shape. All right. We have Zarket. An initiative from Zarket.
I have more great rolls, everybody.
So if you just like click on the
I still haven't
swords,
found where the.
Do you see the next to the chat bubbles? The next tab over is cross swords, right?
Oh, and just hit the. Okay.
If you click that die in there, it'll give you that. It'll give you that initiative.
Thank you.
Great. You're welcome. Lucas 7. You're up there, kind of like on the edge of the pyramid, on one of the sort of non-stepped slopes. They're not that steep, but you can stand there pretty okay. When you kind of see all this happen, so what do you do?
Great. These are here.
Yep, there, and on the other side of this big pool of oil.
Great. What do I know anything about these with my training in mysticism?
You might know something. Why don't you give me a mysticism check?
Man, we are just rolling.
Well, yeah,
knocking out of the park.
You're pretty sure they're constructs. They might not be magical. They might just be technological constructs. They might be fully robots.
There.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will gain a mutation point, as happens in combat when you are my class. This increases my speed to a whopping 45 feet.
Whoa.
And I have force souls, so as I run, if there's no floor beneath me, there kind of will be little
Fancy.
force steps. And I will just let's take an action. So I will use an action to activate my adaptive strike. So scintillating circuits flow through Locus's body, and then they will take a move action to run down. All right. To run down toward the enemy right there.
All right. You got the movement. So you kind of you're up in the air a little bit when you get off the edge of the pyramid, then you just kind of step downwards, hit the floor. What do you got?
I hiss at them menacingly as, oh, you could draw when you move in this. Yes.
Yes,
so,
you can.
Yes. So as part of the movement, I will activate the adaptive strike. There we go. That does let me, in fact, attack.
Oh, great.
So I do a forward somersault as I hit the ground, and electricity surges in my tail as I strike this thing wherever I hit. There we go. Oops.
Oof. Not a great roll. That is.
This is against EAC.
Yeah, still a miss, unfortunately.
All right.
All right. Zarket.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to quickly move as much as I can, which is
30 feet
to here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have tokens for these guys, or is it just the
the fact that they're blending in with the statues that are part of the map behind them, so they're just right here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kind of blending in a little bit.
Okay.
That's the point.
So I will try. I'm gonna give it a shot with this. With clever attack.
Ooh.
Which is an envoy improvisation.
Mm-hmm.
So I make an attack, and well, actually no. First I resolve the basically when I make I can do a clever feint, and then I can make an attack.
Oh right, yeah.
So first I attempt a bluff check with the same DC as a feint against the nearest guy, so against him.
Great.
So this is a bluff against whatever the bluff DC is. So
yeah, whatever the bluff DC is. Let's see that roll.
It's
okay, got it. That is success.
Okay,
definitely.
So, in which case he is going to be flat-footed against all of our attacks until the end of my next turn.
Ooh, very good.
And then I roll an attack against him.
Okay, let me make him flat-footed. There it is. Done. Roll that attack. Target him and attack him. You can, if you hover over it, you can hit T to target someone.
I need to real quick give my pistol back some ammunition.
Oh yeah,
somehow.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, you need to assign it an ammunition, I think.
Oh crud! I don't understand how the system works. I'm sorry.
It's just that. Oh, you. Oh, it's telling you don't have it. You didn't buy it. That's fine. We can just sort of put some in your character sheet. Let's see equipment.
It's a battery thing, right?
It's a battery, right? Yeah. Okay, and that should do it. Click them. There you go.
Thank you. So yes, I will. Yeah. Target. It says I can't target a token I can't see.
Can't see that token? That's weird.
I mean, I can't see them. They're not. They are not on the board for us. They're hidden on the.
Hold on. Maybe did I hide them? Oh my goodness! I am sorry. I thought I. You know what? I pressed the button to show them in the initiative order, but not on the map. That was my fault, and I apologize. Now you should be able to see them and target them.
We see them now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to tell what I can see and what you can see and can't see when I'm in like GM layers, basically.
Actually, second thought, I just remembered how my gun works. I'm actually not going to use my gun. I'm just going to use the clever feint improvisation for my action, and that's going to be it. Move and that improvisation. So it's now because my gun doesn't actually do damage.
Okay, fair enough.
And I don't want to move him around from where he currently is. So
yeah.
I'll use, like I said, I'll use the just the clever feint improvisation, so he's flat-footed against everybody's attacks until the end of my turn, and that'll do it for me.
Scanning you and not sure what to make of you. All right, this one to the south sort of clinks to off of its little dais And again, this is a like heavy metal sort of steel on this sort of stone floor as it clinks its way towards Kirei. As it does so, one of its arms kind of like, T-1000 morphs into a liquid metal spear as it takes a stab at Kirei. That is a 16 against your KAC.
That will not hit.
All right, so you nimbly dodge out of the way. All right, second Guardian. Again, sort of where it's at, sort of morphs in one of these metal spears and targets at Locus and attacks. Interesting. The wrong one open. Here we go. Attack. So that's a 19 against your KAC, Dustin.
I tried to dodge out of the way, but it just hits me.
All right. Oh no, I'm finding that. Where is the damage on this? Sorry, ignore that. Ignore what I'm about to do. All right. Apologies, everyone. I don't see where damage is programmed into this. Into this stat block. Well, I'll just have to roll it. I'll just have to do it live. Let me find the full sheets. All right, here we go. That's going to be a whopping 1d6 plus 6. Minimum damage, 7 piercing damage as it kind of pokes you with its spear. Oops. Oh, we did. Oh, you did it for me. Okay. I'm going to put that back on. Right? Yeah. Great. And that's my turn there. All right, Kirei, it's your turn.
Okay, so Kirei will say, Cosmic Sparkle, make up, and just kind of do this like crazy pose as sparkles just shower all over her, and her outfit becomes even more fabulous as what you now see on her token. That is a move action. Technically, what she's doing is fainting. We are at least attempting to faint. One moment.
Fair enough.
My bluff check. Using her, pulling out this glittering microphone that also like seems to have a hot pink ribbon sprouting from it and kind of swirling around her in the transformation sequence. That is what she actually is going to use to attack after we do this bluff check. It is a feint. It has the feint property, so I get a +2 to that. So 19 for the bluff check.
You bluff it. Because it doesn't understand magical girl transformations. You've gone to a completely different background, right? Essentially, and you're spinning and swirling around, and it's like 5 minutes later when you come back, and it's like, what happened? Whoa! And then you've caught it flat-footed.
Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to try to attack. Ooh, yay! A 20
hits. That is a big hit.
All right. So roll that. So hold on. That is my electric. Hold on a second. I think that's counting my solar weapon crystal. I just want to make sure. Let's see.
It's giving me
gorgeous ribbon shock. So that's 4 slashing damage, and I believe some sparkles do a little bit of additional damage.
All right.
And I think that is, let me double check. It is 1d3.
Hit me.
Okay, and just 1 extra electricity damage.
1 extra electricity damage.
1 sparkle
damage.
Notice
as you strike this thing, that it has your ribbon shock doesn't necessarily, the slashing part doesn't cut through its metal hide as much as you would prefer, probably. Is that it for your turn?
That's my turn.
All right, Sprig.
I start my turn clapping because that was beautiful. And then I go, ugh, robots. Oh man, that's not my forte. So I'm gonna cast Wisp Ally. Wisp ally is going to make a cutie patootie little glowy ball of light, and it is going to circle around this dude, the one that Kirei is fighting. Yep.
Great.
So I cast it, and I use my move action to make my Wisp ally spin around this guy. It is going to grant harrying fire until I tell it otherwise. So once each round until it goes away. So that is going to grant whoever attacks it next a +2 on their attack roll.
Great. If I can add that to some more conditions. No, don't have it under conditions. Okay, great. Do you want to move anywhere?
Nope. I cast a standard action and I spend a move to tell my Wisp ally to harass.
Great. Okay, fair enough. Terrific.
That's
All
my
right.
turn.
Then we are back up to Locust 7.
Great. I will hiss and sputter a little as that spear did a little more damage than we all think it did because evolutionist. Backdraw, drawback, and then I will spin around and try to hit it twice with my tail, doing a full attack as I begin glowing even more with an additional mutation point.
Wow. That's good because this thing is flat-footed now.
Yes. This is against EAC. How do I do a full attack again? There we go.
Hey, that's a hit.
Hooray. Evolution track. Okay, good. +3. Sorry, just double checking.
Yeah.
Okay, found it. Hooray.
Ooh, nice.
That is some massive damage. You kind of like it with is this like a electricity based punch or a slash or something like
electricity based tail slap?
Yeah, great. It kind of like slashes across this thing's chest, and it makes its metal skin ripple and jut and shock.
Awesome. Let's try again. I'll keep spinning.
Again. That is also a hit because it is flat-footed at the moment.
Awesome.
Thanks to the clever attack. And another 8 points of damage.
Haha, and now I am too dizzy to keep spinning.
It is shuddering and kind of like jutting around as its liquid metal is kind of pouring off of it. All right, Zarket.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's an area I can move to. Will give me a better angle here. Doesn't really. So I will move a little closer just to try to get, let's see, that's 10, 20. I'm going to, I think I'll just use my, I think I'll just use the clever feint again on the same one as before.
Sure, yeah.
Since Locust is doing such a good job spinning it to death. Might as well keep it off balance.
Yeah, keep it off balance.
So let's see if we can keep that up until it falls apart.
Oh, heck yeah. Do you get anything for feint doesn't do per rounds. Okay, yeah, great. No, you feinted it.
Yeah, and so it's feinted for everybody. So all attacks against it is going to be flat-footed.
Yep.
Yep, and that's move standard action. I don't have a bonus.
Okay.
So.
All right, next one is the one that's in front of Kirei. I think it is going to attack twice with its spear. Full attack. Here we go. Oh, gosh, a big miss. A big bad miss with a 7 total. And then a 1. Oh, my goodness. So, Carrie, you're just dancing around this spear, trying to jab you in the side, and it's like you're barely breaking a sweat there, I would say. Not even. All right. The same thing's going to happen over here to Dusty. I mean, sorry, I got your name and your character's name confused. Lucky.
It's okay.
Dustin. First one, though, is, I think, going to be a hit.
Ow.
Yeah, a big one. No, minimum damage, 7 damage, and then the second full
Plus
attack,
4.
plus 4, then 11 damage. Ooh, you were really. It's good to hit you. I am really hitting you too, and that's the thing. So then another 9 plus 4, 13 damage.
Just 9. It's only the first time each round.
Oh, it's only the first time. Okay, fair enough. Just 9. So yeah, so it's poking you twice, and I guess poking your tender evolutionist parts. All right, Kirei.
All right. I am not loving that it is having, well, it's missing me a lot, but it's also not really taking that much damage from my attack. So I am going to take a guarded step back. And then I am going to use a move action to draw. My microphone briefly changes shape into kind of this like blue, sparkly, but icicle-like device. And I'm going to say, "Sugar, sparkle, icicle," and I'm going to shoot my zero pistol at it. Let's see how this goes.
Remember, Sugar Sparkle Icicle is sold separately.
It is, yes. Yes, yeah. Absolutely. So that is a 15 against its EAC.
That is a hit.
Yay! All right. Roll damage. And that is 4 cold damage.
Yeah. It takes every point of that, for sure. As its
Perfect.
metal kind of frosts over and cracks a bit.
Awesome. And that is my turn.
We're on to Sprig
I get
again.
more sparkly, though, this round.
Oh, fair enough. Is this going to be a sparkle explosion at some point, Jenny?
I think there will be. Yeah.
Sprig is going to move over, scamper down the side of the pyramid over to here. And then I'm going to cast a spell. Verdant Blast. Why did it not show up?
Oh, we were playing with this earlier.
1 second. Casting it. Aha! Okay, here we go. I'm going to place my line like so.
Yeah. I fell right into your trap by putting 2 points on a line.
All right, I shoot a blast of roots and branches and vines and pretty little blue flowers out of my hands in a big line.
Okay.
And they get to make their saves.
They're making some reflex saves to avoid all of this, and the closest one did not make it. The furthest one did make it, so they're only going to take half damage. Okay, let me just apply that. Although, apply full damage there.
And
I would say it rips them up pretty fierce.
Excellent. And my little glowy light keeps glowing around this guy, so you will continue to get a +2 the next time someone attacks.
Great.
This one.
All right, Locus. You've got a metal robot that is clearly near to be breaking down in front of you.
Correct. And I start glowing even brighter and become a little faster and spin a little faster.
There's so much glowing on this team.
Right? Awesome, fabulous.
All the best teams shine.
I told you this was a stage. This was a concert hall.
All right. So first attack will get an 8, and
even with the flat-footed, though, that is a miss, unfortunately.
Right. Second attack will be a 23.
Much bigger hits.
For 9 electricity damage.
See what happens. Oh, I didn't apply it, but you knock it down. It is completely a puddle of liquid metal at this point.
I let out a victorious battle cry.
All right, Zarkets.
Okay. So this statue that's on the map is gone, right? Because we just splattered it into.
Yep, I splattered. Yeah.
Okay.
Ignore
so
the background statue. There's just a dais there now.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to move here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take this time. I am going to use the clever attack to first feint this guy, our remaining dude, and then attack him. So feint first.
A success. I won't bother removing the flat-footed condition from him.
I'm going to. So many buttons.
A lot of buttons. That is a hit.
Okay, so this doesn't do damage, but it does drag.
Okay.
I can move him 10 feet either away from me or towards me, and I want to drag him 10 feet towards me, like specifically towards that pit.
Do you want to? I mean, 10 feet is kind of at the edge of the pool. Do you want to do it right there at the sort of edge of this pool?
That was the intent.
Yeah, mostly in the pool at this point, and it's sort of. It's not super deep, so it's only maybe up to its shins, but it is this thick black oil that is now sort of maybe possibly impeding its progress. All right, is that your turn?
That's me.
You're good. All right. Oh, I'm flat-footed. I'm going to have to get out of this thing because it's kind of like weighing me down. If I want to get close to anybody, I'm going to have to wade my way out of this pit. So here comes a D20. I don't have much skills. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I think it can't move. I think it's stuck there. For it tries to pull itself out, and it's just like a thick tar that's keeping it in place. Kirei, we're up to you.
Okay, so what I will do, seeing it kind of on the edge there, I am now just like, the sparkles have intensified again. There is now just like a full like swirling sparkle ribbons going on. So I'm going to just kind of like remove my headphone tiara and kind of hold it up to the camera, and it like sparkles in the light. And I prepare with a pose to throw it and say, "Rainbow kiss explosion!" And I throw the tiara at it in this like comet-like way. So I'm using supernova since I am fully charged now as a Solarian. I have 3 attunement points, and I have a fun little class feature called distant burst, so that I can position that so that I don't hit all my allies that are within 10 feet of me. So I'm gonna
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw the tiara so that it hits. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. I am going to do it. Let's see. Probably like this, have it hit this square over here so that it doesn't hit anyone else. It's 10 foot. So yeah, let's see where I can move that to not. Yeah, so I could do that and it'll be perfect. Because I don't want to hurt anybody who doesn't deserve to be punished. So let's see. That is 19 fire damage.
And I get a reflex save, right?
I think you do. Yeah. Yes, you do. You'll take half damage if you succeed.
Not great at reflexes. What's your DC?
I should know that, shouldn't I? Let's see. Okay, yep. So my charisma, so +4, so I think it's 10 plus my charisma modifier. Is it anything? I think that's is that right? 1 sec.
I think it's going to be something like 18 or 19, which is more than my 17 that I rolled on the die, or rolled with my +2. So I'm going to take all this damage. Whoosh. It is an explosion, and the metal melts away, and it kind of actually seeps into this tar, and this tar actually kind of lights this is now sort of a burning bonfire that gives off all this heat and light as the combat is over. The two robots or liquid metal creatures, whatever they were, have been defeated. And you've left this lovely sacrifice of a burning pitch.
Brig claps her hands and all of her elephants. It's like, great job, everybody. That was great. Great. I like all the sparkles.
Now, you've got this device sprig in your hands. Do you want to try to open it, or you just want to take it
I
back
sure do.
to Sarmak? Okay.
Sounds
You
cautious not opening it. I'm definitely
Fair
gonna
enough.
open it.
you can give me an engineering check.
I sure will. 30.
It opens quite easily. You're able to sort of like just kind of like almost like by thinking about it while holding it, it pops open. It sort of blooms like a flower almost, and there is a glowing nodule sort of inside in the very center, where the what is that? The pistil would be for a flower, right? Or is that the stamen? I can never remember which is which. You're not sure what that is though. It is it's kind of definitely a technological device of some kind, of ancient origin though.
Can I do an engineering to figure out what it is?
You might need to do a computer's check.
I say, I got a thing, everyone.
You can tell
I
it's got
definitely can't do
that
computer stuff.
yeah, with an engineering I mean, with just knowing engineering, you know it's a device of some kind. You're just not sure like what specifically
does
it
a
could be. It's
thing.
probably it's computers related. That's what you can tell by being sort of trained in engineering.
Is anybody on our team any good with computers?
I can post on social media.
I could destroy
That
computers.
Great. I'm gonna assume that the expert in technology is clearly you. So I'm gonna wander on over to Kirei and show you my cool thing. Look, I got a thing.
Oh, that's really cool.
Can we do something other than post about it on social media?
I don't know. I mean, that's probably what I would do if I got some cool new merch like that. But she looks at it. I don't think there's no other skills or anything that she could use.
No, if you have you can give me a culture check.
She might be able to do that. She does have some culture. 17 culture check.
Because you're so familiar with all the latest comm units and stage equipment and whatnot, right? You have a little bit of knowledge of technology, because you're so online, right? This technology though is it's like finding something that is older than a first generation iPhone, but yet more complex than that, right? It is old technology that you do not recognize, but you can tell that it is complex.
This is really old technology that I'm not familiar with. I'm sorry.
Okay, I say, well, I know what to do with that. And then I stick it up in my flowers. And I'm just going to carry it around up there. It's like a hat now, too.
Fair enough.
Perhaps we should take it back to Sarmak.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, if it's old technology, there's probably better, newer ones at the store, right?
I think this one might be special, but...
Yeah.
He did ask us to bring back whatever we found here, if we could carry it.
Fair.
We should definitely bring it back.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you can poke around the rest of the sort of southern half of this temple. There's not much there. There's actually a mirror version of the room where you had the controls. So there's another set of controls down there. But for the most part, you're able to sort of make the way back to the shuttle. Oh gosh, I've forgotten his name. Bertes is waiting for you. Oh, looks like you're doing okay. Let's head on back. And you pop into the shuttle, take another couple days to get back to Epsilon Station. Because time passes, you can all basically heal up if you. I don't think anyone spent any resolve points, but you definitely get all your stamina back. Did anyone take any hit point damage? I hit Dustin the most, so did you? That was all stamina. That was all stamina. Great. So yeah, even just sort of like hours after blast off, you're back to normal. And you make your way back to Sarmak at Laurel Spire Complex, who is just sort of overjoyed. What have you got? Oh, what is this?
A thing.
This.
It's super pretty.
I think this is some sort of data drive. There must be, I don't know, like thousands of terabytes of information on this. After he studies it for a minute, that's gonna forward my studies on the first ones just by light years. I can't thank you enough. I have something for you though. If, next time you might come across some unusual writings, I've got this thing. It's sort of a project that I've been working on. It's called a pocket linguist. So he hands you, I don't want to again kind of give it to the party pack rat here. Sprig, pocket linguist, will help you translate things in the future, possibly. There it is. Yeah. In
say
your
thanks.
inventory. Thank you. I appreciate all you've done for me here in this time. So, and if you see fit to make me the first seeker, I will also, be quite appreciative of that. And again, we can forward the cause of science and technology even further.
I nod and I point at Kirei super seriously and I say, she's a great scientist.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm so excited. And by the time you got back, he's fully stocked the mini fridge, so he offers you some more snacks and drinks once again, and you're able to head back out to the main Lore Spire complex. And who you pick to see next and what happens there, we'll find out during the next episode. So please tune in for that.